Welcome to the Tyler W. IQ software series, where today we'll take a look at installing VirtualBox, a Type 2 hypervisor for your virtual machines. Here we go. Our first step will be to download VirtualBox. Open your browser of choice, type in VirtualBox. The search results will point us to the vendor site. In this case, it will be Oracle VM VirtualBox. Select the link. It will take us to the website, and you'll choose to download VirtualBox. In this case, it will be 6.1, whichever the latest version is. You'll pick your platform of choice. In this case, it's Windows. By selecting Windows, you'll initiate the download, and VirtualBox setup program will be downloaded to your machine. Once it's complete, select the VirtualBox icon. This will initialize the setup program and get you started. You'll be offered a welcome box. Welcome to VirtualBox. Select Next. Select the defaults as you go through. You can change them if you like. You'll get a warning box that pops up that says your network interfaces will be reset. That's because they have to reinitialize them, create a couple of new ones in there. The setup program will also ask you if you're sure you want to make controls with a user account dialog box, and then the installation will continue. Once the installation is complete, you'll be offered the ability to launch VirtualBox. You may get offered the ability to install different applications or components along the way. In this case, it will be USB component. Ask you if you want to install it. You sure would like that. That would allow you to emulate the USB components later on. And then select Finish here, which will launch VirtualBox. The default installation of VirtualBox will give you everything that you need to install a virtual machine of some sort. The host adapter, the NICs, the virtual hard drives, everything that you need. There may be cases where you would like to add a second virtual NIC or a second host adapter. What I'll do in the rest of the session is show you how you would add an additional host adapter. If we want to add another NIC or another host adapter, we used to go to Preferences. We don't do that anymore. They changed it recently. Down to Host Network Manager is where we'd add a new host adapter. We already have one VirtualBox host-only Ethernet adapter put in place by default, number one. If I want to create a new one, I'll just click on Create. When I click Create, I can add number 2. The second VirtualBox interface is created. It does ask you with user account control. And now we can go in and configure the adapters themselves. We would want to change potentially the IP address of the adapter to match whatever our infrastructures we're going to set up later on. We're going to use 2 network adapters later. One would be on the 10.10.10 network. This adapter is going to be 10.10.10.40. We'll use the natural mask of 3 255s. Hit apply. That actually creates it. Again, it's going to have to make changes to Windows, so it asks you if you're sure you want to do this. We'll go over to adapter number 2. We'll change its IP address as well to be the infrastructure that we're going to use later, 10.10.20.40. Make sure that our mask is still set to the 3 255s here, 24-bit mask, and we're okay there. User account control, say sure. We also want to make sure that we have control of what's being set up here. So in this case, DHCP is enabled for NIC number 1, and that's the default value. We want to deselect that to make sure that we're going to use our addresses, and that a router that we'll install later on will actually hand out addresses for us. And that's all it takes to add the new adapter. That's it in a nutshell for configuring VirtualBox and making a minor configuration change of adding a host adapter. In upcoming sessions, we'll take a look at importing Kali Linux and Windows to create your own little lab infrastructure. Thanks for watching, and join me for more installs and reviews in my Tyler W. IQ software series.